And we're live.
Oh, hi. That was
Hello.
fast.
Read? Because normally I do like a 10-second countdown, but I haven't quite figured out how to master it. So I started at the 30-second, and then I just go to time it. So that way I'm not making people suffer through more than 10 seconds.
We're all figuring this all out, guys.
I'm telling you, when we say we're born in a cult, like we're gonna try to make things as hard as possible, so that way, because the hard stuff sounds a lot easier than anything else.
That's
true.
awesome.
So
you excited?
Out of
Less
4
than
of
a
us are
week?
here. It's coming. It's a coming. Our trip is a coming. So soon.
I'm glad we're doing it together. Being completely honest, I'm glad that we're doing it. We're not doing it alone, so we don't have, to worry about, who's got my back, who's watching me. Do they really have, are they really here,
For you. Or with you in mind. With your safety in mind. Especially with how wild it's getting out there. I feel like do you feel like these are like, it's like getting more and more intense, like seeing the lives from others, and you're like, how did this escalate so quickly?
Yeah, right? I felt like it's escalated, but I also have watched in some circumstances been like, okay, well, I might not be in that exact position. Like just kind of keeping track of what positions I want to put myself into.
Right.
Sort of ahead of time. Nora had mentioned in her live, maybe it was yesterday, about how she was trained when she was on staff or when she was in the Sea Org to get the protesters to come in close to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really interesting. And it just kind of made a mental checkbox in my mind of like, okay, maybe don't get baited in.
No, yeah. And have enough people around that are listening and watching so that nothing gets by all of us more than one.
And there's also going to be, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be Sea Org members and civvies.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Especially because they know we're coming.
Yeah, we've been announcing that we're coming. It's not just 1 second gen. It's not just 2. It's not just 3. It's 4. And then plus everybody else that's coming.
Yeah. There's some secret guests we won't talk about.
I know. It's like James Bond.
It is top secret.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we could get James Bond to come because maybe then the doors would close permanently.
I have thought, man, how fun it would be like hire a Tom Cruise impersonator, because there is a really good Tom Cruise impersonator.
I'm on his TikTok.
Yeah. Just to roll up. And it'd be so funny if he actually stayed in character so that the Sea Org members thought it was him, on the inside thought it was him, and thought that he was somehow fighting with us, and then we convinced him. Oh man, I had a whole play written in my head.
And then we're like,
oh, that is hilarious. Like, they would start crying.
I will.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what do we do? Like, cognitive dissonance is like totally sparking some thoughts there. Definitely.
Have you guys?
I think we should just pretend to beat him up and then throw him into a car and then watch what happens.
That's probably going to escalate a situation.
Wild. That would be so funny.
I'm just saying.
How are you guys feeling? Like, what have you guys considered what your approach might be in our?
I'm going to act like an old lady parent.
That's your protesting strategy?
Yeah, my old lady self is going to be like, look, you just need to listen.
Get off my lawn.
I'm going to pretend like you're the kids. You need to do your chores. Like, remember the chores. Oh, you're not going to do them? You're going to ignore me? Okay. Well, then I'm just going to tell you when I was your age.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're even going to want to talk to us. If there's that many, I almost feel like they might send a handler or two, like a distractor, like these.
I'm thinking I'm going to see people that I've known from my childhood.
I was kind of hoping we'd see a few, but I don't know if they're going to like keep them hidden away. You know, if there's that many people, they may not want to have their people outside. And it also depends on where we go. So.
Yeah, so speaking of this, I've been having like this weird reoccurring like momentary nightmare where they bring out Molly Housen. And Molly Housen was like my best friend growing up. We were inseparable. Like it was like she was when they say you have a person that's your best friend, that for me was her. And so that's my only worry is like she comes out and tries to say something nasty. Then I'm going to be like, well, help me just expose this real quick. Like, I'm just going to stick the short one on you because that could really hurt my feelings, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's my biggest fear. Like, I'm not worried about them bringing my dad out. I'm like, come on, bring him out. I'm totally okay to talk to him.
It's a weird position to be in because do you say something that's like, you're in a cult and screw you? Or do you say something like, hey, do you want help? Do you want to get out? Like, have you ever thought about what life would be like? Like, do you want to go to dinner anytime you want? Do you want to go see a movie whenever you want? Do you want to sleep in? Do you want to not work for 12 hours a day? Like,
I want to know if he knows, like, if, with the abuse, I would like to have a conversation, be like, did you know that I'm covered in scars?
Yeah.
Like, did you know? You know, it's kind of like when we find out that people are covering, you know, certain areas, and I was part of that area in Florida. And so for me, it's like, I want accountability, and I even want accountability from my own father. Like, if he knew, we can absolutely get past it. There's nothing in the world that we can't get past. I could forgive my mom. I mean, hello, that should speak volumes right there. I still show up and take care of her backyard. Okay, so I'm just saying, I will show up for her. So, of course, I would still show up for him.
Yeah. It'd be nice to know. I think those are some of the things that before you can get healing, it's like you got to have questions answered. So I totally feel for you in that process.
Yeah.
I don't know that we're going to get answers like.
I was just going to say, I feel like I mean,
yeah, chances are they're going to shut things up on us would be my guess pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They do not want their Sea Org members and their staff, it appears like talking to people who know what to say, like people who speak the language. They seem like they really, really don't want that.
Well, they don't want us around them and vice versa because we can be mean and yell at them and that's still like you're accosting our people, like our parishioners. Or if you say something nice and thoughtful and like, hey, do you need help? Do you want out? Have you ever thought about this? And do you think this is an age appropriate thing for kids when they're doing, like if they have kids?
Right.
Because, you know, it's a lot of things that they think of. And I think most of us probably know somebody or knew somebody who was in, but questioned something or some things.
And got in trouble. Ended up in ethics.
Or could be, or they just didn't say it to anybody. And you find out like years later, or you're like, oh, when they said that, it really meant something more than what I could grasp at that time. Like, you know, there was definitely, I think there's a lot of people that mean well that are in there. And that's the part that really is sad. They really think that they're changing the world. Yeah. They really think they're saving the world. And so they're so willing to sacrifice their own life and their kids' lives in essence too, because they think that they're doing the greater good. So it is really.
I hate that sentence.
It is
like
really,
if anything makes me want to like
hurl,
like spit nails. It's literally the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics.
Yeah.
Like that sentence being told to me as a kid, it's like feel my finger. Like I'm gonna have you feel me break it.
Well, there's such a gaslight that comes with not having your needs met. And the reason for it is because it's better for everybody else. That's like such a basic human neglect, you know? I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than, so I get it. I get why that would piss me off too.
It's like your needs are not that important because the needs for the world and mankind. And it's like, but how many years and decades have they been saying that?
Millions. No, I'm just kidding. To answer that question that was up on the screen, my family sold the property and it is long, long gone. So FYI for that speaker. I really am going to push myself out of my comfort zone this weekend and do some performance art thing. I was chatting with you guys about it in the text. I don't know what it looks like exactly yet. If you guys want in, that's cool. Serge and Laura, I'm roping them into my ridiculousness, but I'm really interested in this concept of like art as it's such powerful communication, but I don't know that yelling at people from outside of buildings is really my thing.
Yeah.
even when I went to Portland, I felt like I should be doing something or expressing myself in a way that I wasn't. So I'm going to mess around with that this weekend. I'd really like to.
Hey, whatever you need.
Yeah. There'll be 5 or 6
know.
of us there, but I mean, I have a list of like almost 100 kids that were born into Scientology who have gotten out, who are alive, who've gotten out and have spoken out about it, like against it now that they're adults. So I want to invoke their spirits. So it's going to get a little weird. So don't take my cues, Liz.
But I think
I'm going to lead us.
I live in weird, so that's perfect. It'll be like, curious.
I live in the nerdy weird.
Yeah, I
and
love
also,
it. I love it.
I feel like, Scientology really does like and cater to artists and artisticness.
Yeah.
Like my mom was in the choir forever. She did all those plays and performances. So like, I know that, and I showed you those little cute videos of the little kids that have their own YouTube channel, or they did. I totally subscribed. I know it's cheesy, but I was like, I don't want to forget this in case I want to like look at it again and go on a deep dive again. But they really do, they really hold that in like such a high esteem. And so I think that would be a very intelligent, emotional, without having to really necessarily speak. Like, I think it'll be, you don't have to have a whole paragraph for them necessarily,
right.
But it'll be important. And also, even if they don't care, we'll care. Like, it'll be important for us. And that to me is what's really important, because we're not necessarily there to get them out. I mean, if we can protest, I think for me, I'm just going to flip off every building I can. That's my healing. Okay, guys.
I love it.
I didn't say I'm mature. I've been doing it for years. And when I was little, I just like, like in the car, hope my parents didn't see. But now I just go and I do it. So we said you're going to get a comment about bed, about being in bed.
That was amazing. I'm sorry. That was amazing. That was perfect timing.
It was perfect.
That just made my day. Because now I'm just waiting for everyone to be like, I want to be next to this.
I couldn't be bothered to do anything else than sit on my bed today.
But I like that. I like that you're relaxed.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, there's a part of me that feels wound tighter than a Timex. Like, I'm counting down like this is Christmas. Like us getting together is Christmas.
It's like a countdown.
And I'm literally like, oh, we got like 5 days. We got like 4 days. We got like 4 days and 18 hours.
It's true. You keep us updated in the group chat. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so close. Oh my God. Like, I know it in my head and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to forget to check into the flight the day before. So I'm like, is it there? Am I there? Like, because we're doing life and work and everything else. And then we have to get prepared for this. And I'm over here like, does my bag already weigh over 50 pounds? Like, I haven't even put anything in. I mean, I have put some in it, but it's nothing that I need. Like, I'm just a mess.
Right? I'm scared to pack my clothes. I'm scared to pack my clothes.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to bring that e-meter.
I love that.
I literally am like, oh my God. And I got these like white robes. I am a psycho. If somebody checks my bag, they're going to be like, what the? It looks like I'm about to go for like a witchcraft.
I love it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yes, I will. And I'm actually tempted to just check it as itself. I don't know. Whatever.
As the briefcase?
Yeah, except for I'm by myself, like traveling, so I can't have. It's so bulky and heavy. It doesn't have I don't know. I'll have to figure out
I mean, Scientologists do it somehow. I mean, they're not supposed to separate from it, like so.
Oh, sure.
I'll figure it out. I'll either put it in a bag or whatever. I'm not really sure, but yes, the plan is to bring it down there. And but I don't know if it's gonna make it back to Oregon alive.
What happens in LA stays in LA, guys.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, that just reminds me of like a smash room. I'm like, oh.
We've talked about doing a raged room just with all kind of memorabilia, but it has to be stuff that we have duplicates of, so we don't.
I was gonna say
precious bit of artifact. I know. Well, I told you, like, I feel kind of bad now because we essentially like burned all my mom's old stuff. And it was like all the old cassette tapes, all the lectures, all those big ass books, like, and it was like a pile of it. And I was like, this is what's your life. Like, this is what we're going through. And it amounted to this. And then all of our schoolwork. And I was like, did we really need us writing down 5 colors in 2nd grade? But she kept all that. So we were like, and I still have I think I still have an e-meter that I have to go pick up, because this is funny. This is how me and Liz originally actually talked. On the Facebook page, the like publicly or many supporters, like I posted a picture of this e-meter and I didn't know anything about it. I was like, can I sell this? I thought maybe someone who was like a collector of like weird cult shit would like it. Like I really was like, I want to break it, but this is important to somebody. I knew it. And
it's an HCO. It's an actual HCO e-meter.
Yeah. And so she knew what that meant. I don't know what that means, guys. I'm just not that smart when it comes to that.
What does that mean?
Communication office. So it's a Sea Org one. That's all it is. It's just a Sea Org one.
And it's one of the older ones. So it probably doesn't work or anything like that, but it's like
any of them
memorabilia. No, but I mean, like, even to screw around with it, it might not. I don't know. But I'm just like, oh, I need to go get that now. I need to take a trip to go get that.
I want to know if they would survive a slingshot.
It depends on how old it is, probably, right? Maybe because some of them were made with like hard plastic. I feel like, were they ever made with glass?
I don't think so. They were a wooden box was the original e-meter, and then they moved forward to plastic, and it is pretty hard plastic, but if you dropped it could totally crack.
It could break. Yeah.
I
feel like if you did it enough, it would.
It's a little brittle. It's kind of that brittle type of
most
plastic.
of them are kind of old. So most of them that I see around are kind of old. So
it's a
except go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's a Mach 7, so it's not one of the new ones, but it's not one of the oldest ones.
So it's kind of middle age.
Like me.
You're like, man, this thing got something in common.
To answer this question, only because I feel like I have to. I did amazing on the batter and everything else. I totally forgot that I didn't have any vegetable oil. So I made fried chicken in olive oil. And I don't recommend it.
Yeah.
It does change the taste and the texture. But it was definitely the batter tasted good. So yes, to answer your question, please don't leave me in charge of the kitchen.
I don't think we're going to have any time to be in the kitchen. Like, we're there such a short time.
Right.
So I think we'll just be like eating out on the go.
I hope we're not eating out every single second.
What else are we going to have to? Yeah, I was like, we have to.
Okay, that wasn't meant as a gay joke. I meant like,
that's what
I just got it.
Man, were like, what?
Yeah.
Honey, can you hand me a rock star, please? Realistically, I'm just talking about calories wise. I'm not trying to eat 5,000 calories.
She just wants the endless buffet with no calories. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay.
No questions.
And this is what Liz looks like embarrassed.
No questions asked, guys. I do have some little things in my head that I want to do. What is the dance called? I can't think of the name. But when you hold the person in front of you, like it's a line of people, and like you hold their hips, and you like cha 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 cha. Is that what it is? That's what I thought. I want to do that down the L. Ron Hubbard way, like with us all chanting and sing, like whatever we want to sing. But because that's a public sidewalk, so we could, right? Like,
I think so. You know what's funny too is we could probably I would like that too. We could probably get away with for like a couple photos or something too, walking arm in arm across, like down through the middle of the street.
I would like.
Can we chant? Because I've always wanted to do the hip hip hooray. We don't have to work all day.
Oh, nice.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's definitely you can do chants. There's certain rules about the loudspeaker, which there's like certain hours and pointing it into certain directions. So as long as we have our bases covered with that, we should be good. I would love to just pick a day we're only there for a day essentially, but like maybe on the Saturday afternoon, try and have a spot to be determined where we can tell everybody where we're at. And anybody who wants to come down and say hi can come down and we can kind of hang out.
That'd be nice.
Because I know we want to hit as much places as possible.
Right.
So I don't know if we do the little place, I don't know if we go to the places we're not going to stay at as long first and get those out of the way.
Probably.
And they go to the place we stay at later, and then that way we don't have to leave unless we want to or need to for
Yeah,
food.
we don't need to name where we're staying.
No.
I guess my voice just breaks.
She's like,
oh my God, puberty.
Where the sequence. There it is. There it is. Liz got it. You know, she got it. She gave it up. She gave it up. She gave up on secrets. That was quick, Liz. I thought she was going to last a day or two. I thought, at least until we're getting out there.
Right?
It's going to be a lot of fun, though. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for us just to hang out with each other and just to like see each other in person.
Yeah, for sure.
It's
funny that you're real. It's funny that you bring up the dancing because I swear when the protests were happening like a month ago outside of the Hollywood building, I told my husband and my kids, I said, Scientology is so stupid. If they wanted to, they could counteract this so easily, like with positive press. And my husband was like, what do you mean? I said, they should have a dance mob, like a flash mob. They should get their Scientologists to like surround the protesters in some kind of dance, like surprise everybody. So you think like, oh, that guy's just over there fixing the wall. Nope. Part of the dance.
Surprise suppressive dancing. That's what we're going to do.
Well, I was thinking the other way. I was thinking Scientology could just
they won't
hit us back with it.
Yeah. They don't have enough Scientologists to organize a flash.
They at least have enough for a square dance.
Well, I mean, now a lot of them are so old. They probably can't move that easy. Like I've seen some of the.
Yeah, I'm not trying to break a hip either.
It makes me so sad. I'm like, those people need to be living out their best days, and I don't know.
But I love that that's right. But I love that that's
I want to bust them out
to like dance to it. I feel like
because we don't need to let them be like such a big powerful thing or like have us be fearful. Like I think we dance and it's almost like a way of mocking them, but also having our own joy in it. Like
at least we're gonna have
it's a subtle fuck you.
Yeah, at least we're gonna have to do a little dance TikTok. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. You have to teach us how. You're the.
I've never been a dancer. I got vocals. I got some pipes, but I don't wiggle well.
You can wiggle.
Don't worry, I don't wiggle well either. But we'll fake it till we make it. We'll make an easy deal.
It'll make it even
I don't know which one's doing it.
It'll make it even funnier.
I know, right?
If everyone's doing it and Liz is like
doing it well.
See, I knew you're gonna pick up on what I was putting down.
Which one is that?
I have no idea.
Is that here?
It's not me.
Probably.
Sorry, we got new headphones. And so it literally sounds like it's coming from one of your houses, but it sounds like one of our dogs.
Oh.
Who knows?
Yeah, don't get new headphones, everybody.
That's funny.
You'll be used to it in no time. Probably by the time you get back from the trip.
Probably.
And you'll be like, oh, okay. I'm used to this now. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I feel like there's going to be so much fun energy. Like, even if it gets a little bit weird, I hope it doesn't get like weird is okay, not scary weird. No arresting.
I don't want it to get.
I'm gonna
get weird. You're gonna get weird.
Yes,
I'm gonna get all kinds of weird.
I think there's
weird, and I'm probably. Oh, sorry.
That's totally cool. No, that's good. That's the good weird. That's not like getting arrested weird. Like,
no, I might get like really emotionally weird too.
That's
you might
okay.
have to hold me.
I've not walked on Hubbard Way literally since I'm gonna say probably 2000.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I was gonna say I possibly was gonna get out of the car last year, but I chickened out.
It's okay.
Yeah, you still drove by it though.
Yeah, drove by really quick.
That was with Carrie, right? That was with Carrie, right?
You're like flipping them off, but you don't bring it up above the window.
That's what I'm saying. I used to do that as a kid, like with my mom driving. I mean, she probably would have laughed anyway, but now I can go and take pictures, and I'm like, oh. Did you?
Is there a way to get a car for any Scientologist that want to make a fast break?
Yeah, we got you, Bruce. We got you. Just give us a little.
Hey, if my dad gives me the signal, I will over the shoulder boulder hold of him and just walk away.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! I was gonna say, like, your dad comes out, he can have my spot in the car. I'll walk. I'm not. Right. I'll Uber. I'm not scared.
Yeah. I was saying, we're ready for anything and everything.
Yeah, and honestly,
I don't see them coming out.
No,
I don't. I just see them. I do see them eventually sending my dad out and telling me to knock it off. Like, and giving me this long speech about how I'm embarrassing and, this is why he doesn't want to be my father.
But if they said, if you be quiet because he's so, like, his age, he's like not as useful to us. If we let him out, will you shut up and like get rid of your YouTube channel and like make you a deal? Like, no. Okay.
Yeah, for a day.
No, I'll give my dad a minute, but we're gonna get him immediately into therapy, and then we're gonna start planning.
No, I mean, if
family coming back,
like
if Scientology offered that to me, it would still be a giant no, because then I'm forgetting about the people that got left behind.
Oh, you can always tell him yes, and then when he gets out, like disable your YouTube for a little bit, and then just put it back on.
No, I'm good.
Because what are they going to do? Are they going to take you to court? Think about it. Because then you get your
they can just hand me my dad. I wouldn't mind. I honestly wouldn't mind minimum wage from the time I was in there for every hour I worked. I wouldn't mind that either. Like,
that could help.
That could be an added bonus. Same with my father. He would like all wages. You can pay at minimum wage. You don't even have to pay overtime. Just minimum wage. But I don't think I'll stop, because the more people come out, the more people have so many stories that are similar to ours that were almost spot on to what we experienced.
Right.
And so if one of us silences and someone else has to pick up that, basically pick up that torch, then no, when we can work together and continue spreading the message. So I don't know. I don't think I would stop.
So Liz is not
definitely not my
nothing. So there you go. There you have it.
Yeah.
Just let him out. There's no deals with the devil.
Yeah, we already made a deal with the devil. We didn't press charges when we should have. Question the zombie. The zombies paid overtime. Yeah, I don't think so. You don't have to pay a zombie. Well, I guess you do in brains and blood.
Brains.
Delicious. Get all your nutritions out at once, guys. And it will be weird. I'm glad that we all know it's going to be weird. It's just going to be weird.
Thank you, Tampa Bay Man.
I always forget to put those up.
Because I got the book thing. Thank you. Yeah, I wrote a book, everybody. Woo! Good for me.
And you're going to be writing another one, right?
Yeah. Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist Pothead is on Amazon now, and Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist Mom, hopefully this spring, if I, pull it together. So not so sure. Verdict's out on that one.
You're like,
no, it's
maybe. The first one was amazing, and it's a good read. So even if you're not used to sitting down and reading, because I don't like to sit still, I was able to read it and I loved it. So it was good. I was like, this is engaging. It was, and I love that you did it quick enough to where it doesn't like you're just going with it. I don't know what the right word is, but for us that can't pay attention for long spurts of time, to squirrel.
That's me too, honestly. And like a lot of books and a lot of just things about Scientology are very heavy and like academic. It takes a lot of just mental gymnastics to understand it all. So it was, that's not really my style. I try and make it chill. We chilling.
Right. And that way it's more accessible to more people too.
For sure. Yeah. And the demographic is a little bit younger than I think the person who would pick up Going Clear or Inside Scientology or whatever, which are excellent books that I really enjoyed personally, but they're like beefy academic books that one might want to look at after they
like build their way up to.
Yes.
Because like that's like, whew, yeah. Someone asked a question, did any of us know each other in Scientology? No.
No.
Nope.
No.
I was probably cross, but never
probably
directly.
I mean
never directly.
We're all technically different age brackets.
Yeah.
And I think that plays a large part of it because we are, and Scientology kind of gets off on making people feel alone.
Right. Well, it's messed up, Liz, but you probably were at CC when I was there as a public. Like, I never stayed there, but because I lived in California, but like you were probably there servicing me in some way or another.
Mm.
Wow.
Possible. It's possible that
I didn't say anything. I was letting it slide.
I didn't catch that until she said wow, and
I'm trying to be an adult, guys.
Sorry.
Try to not be the one that does it. It's usually me.
Oh, where's
you
Nora?
know what I meant.
I did. That's why I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And then he made
But no, there is a good possibility of it. Because I would get sent around all the time. I could have, held a door for you. Like realistically, because that's what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm sure our paths would have crossed, but I mean, to be honest, I was probably just like self-involved with whatever BS I had going on, and
probably pissed off you had to be there and do any of it at all.
I was actively trying to outrun the recruiters from taking me down in that freaking basement.
The basement,
yeah,
right next to the laundry room, next to the place we eat.
Yeah, that little because 15-minute break, and I would just want to go down there and do whatever, and it was just I don't know, just anytime you're in that little courtyard, and that's where I came in and out. That's where I got dropped off and stuff. So it's just like these vultures. So,
well, that the beautiful part about like when you went to Portland, the doors closed, they put them down slowly and all that good stuff. And every time someone goes to an org, they put them down slowly. That prevents one child from actually being recruited.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm all down for it because no parent's going to be like, how do you look at your parents in the face now that this is on the internet? Now, everything that the truth about Scientology is on the internet.
Yeah.
How would you look at your parents in the face and say, I want to join the Sea Org instead of the Navy or the Marines? Right.
Or just going to school.
I want to join the Space Navy and I want to have fake bars and all that good stuff and sit there and pretend like I've been through war.
Right. Oh my God. I don't know. I thought my mom was like so different and cool in a weird way because even though I signed my contract at 14, she wouldn't let me go into the Sea Org until I was 16. That was like our rule at our house. That
is actually cool though. I mean,
well, it was helpful then because it gave me an out where I could be like, oh, I can't. And I don't know how my mom took the heat of that. She probably was like, yeah, I was 14 on staff. I know what it's like. I'm not putting my daughter through that. And they're probably like, oh, yeah, you're right. It sucks.
Yeah.
We'll get her.
Well, that's just it. They all kind of know. They're just like, well, it was just, and I think the longer you're in it or like the further away from it, you can kind of look at it in a gentler light. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of people that are like, there's a big divide between ages. Like some are like, I want accountability for what the heck you did. And then some are like, it just happened and it's done. Like, let it go. Like, we're not there.
I'm curious. I'll be honest. I've asked my mom many a times, why the fuck didn't you tell me that? Sorry for my bad words. Why the hell didn't you tell me how bad the Sea Org was and you let me go? Like, why didn't you toughen up and be a mom? And if it was so bad for you in there, why would you send your child there?
Right.
Like,
I think that they still think that was it not better? Was it not a little bit more gentler? I don't know. Like, I see some pictures online and it looks like they had some fun and they're like,
when I was a kid, people were being demeaned in the middle of the street. Like they'd be smoking a cigarette and getting screamed at in the middle of the street.
Though, like 80s, 70s, 80s when it was
the 80s.
More popular. I don't know. I see some pictures that make it look like it was like, I don't want to say a party, but they did get to party in the midst of it.
Location. So location seems to be important. And before the I think there was these mission holders meetings. I want to say they were 1984. So before the mid 80s, maybe 86. Anyway, before the mid 80s, you could have a Scientology mission as your business and kind of run it how you saw fit. And so that's where I think you ended up seeing a lot of these like pockets of really more fun, chill, because they weren't actually following exactly the whole like
everything Scientology.
Part. Yeah. They were just like practicing Scientology in their own
way
spaces, with their own communities. So I think that for sure some of those people had a lot of fun. And then it got really cutthroat at some point for the missions in the 80s because they were forced to sign over all of their churches and then like buy packages in order. Then it just became an MLM.
Yeah, and then became like really money hungry and like, let's get the money out of them, let's reg them, let's get this, let's sell them this.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if a Scientologist raised their hand and said, no, wait, I spent $1 million on this, then they were immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you were on the good side, you had a good time, but if you were, it's the same thing as today, an enemy. I mean, I forget what it was, but when I was having one of the final conversations with my mom about trying to like just plant a seed with her, because she really believes in the tech, I looked into it, and it's like of the original 50 clears from L. Ron Hubbard, more than half of them were declared suppressive because they dared to disagree with the new changes when David Miscavige took over. Yeah. So it's like, and a bunch of them died from cancer. A bunch of them got really sick, which is RIP, but that's not supposed to happen to clears.
Exactly.
No, they're supposed to be able to heal themselves.
Proving it. Right. Well, they're supposed to be immune to that. They can't catch illness or diseases.
Yeah. And how could they have convinced L. Ron Hubbard himself that they were good? Like, how could they have, you know what I mean? So, but whatever, it didn't work.
Yeah. There's a lot of very easy to see contradictions to what he wrote. And it's almost wild because when you do have these conversations, and I feel like, especially people that have been in there a little bit longer, they're kind of stuck to it. Yeah. Like when my mom was alive, when she would shit talk, it would be like, well, I don't like her thing was, I don't like how they take care of kids, and I don't like how they take care of the elderly. She goes, because that's how you see what people really are, how you take care of the most vulnerable, the older and the younger. And this was like early 2000s, like 2015, which was probably way above the time because we weren't really talking about it that much openly. And maybe they were, but she was quietly shit talking it with me because she knew I hated it. So it was great. Yeah. But I was always like, well, Mom, but you were like, was it bad? Because you were there. And she's like, well, I didn't see it, but I've heard some stories that, and I'm like, oh. So you do hear a few things.
You did hear a little bit.
She heard a little bit, but she was a person that would ask questions and got in trouble for it. Right. So I'm sure that a lot of people didn't want to tell her.
I'm sure. Yeah.
She would ask. So if you knew that someone wouldn't just look past it, you didn't want them around and asking questions because you're not going to really.
They would talk about it all the time. Like adults, you would hear them talking about how crappy we had it.
I'm surprised because she was very, I don't know, like the people that they were around seemed like they were really uptown. I don't know. They were really nice. They weren't super mean. And there were mean ones. Like we would all see them, but
yeah.
It's sad because a lot of them went in there with good intentions.
Yeah.
Like
I think so. Like I think a lot of people like I'm not trying to take away responsibility for those people that were nannies and beat the tar out of children. I'm not trying to make excuses. But I think maybe they thought they were joining the Sea Org and they were going to be clearing the planet and they didn't like kids.
And kids were just a nuisance. Well, that's what she said. She said they act like kids are such an annoyance. And she was never that way as a mom, like ever. She has more patience than I could ever dream of having. And it's disgusting because I'm like, oh my God, how do you do that? And it's like, okay. But I also think that she was such a good mom because she had to like fight for it because Scientologists don't want you to be a mom. And she, told us on the day she died that she was forced to have an abortion, when she first joined. And we're like, oh, that's great, Mom.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And I don't think she realized she said it because she did death with dignity. So you have to take a special like mixture of stuff, specific drugs to help you get out of this life, this body. So I don't think she even was really cognizant. Like, I don't think she actually really knew that she was saying it. But she said it. So, at least we knew that. And I'm like, you didn't ever tell me that. So how many other things do I not know? But I'm just like, which is really sad because it makes you see that so many people, like one person knows this and one person knows this. And everybody knows a little tiny piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
But not.
And if everybody would come out with the piece of the puzzle that they're aware of, it would make one whole picture and they'd be able to be closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody sees a different thing.
The kids and the elderly, I think, are the ticket because once you establish that the vulnerable populations are being taken advantage of, it's pretty easy from there to make the jump to like the tax exemption and then all like it unravels.
Yeah.
One thing I know that I was indoctrinated and brainwashed by a technique that they used in Scientology where basically like what if like, well, you know, bringing new ideas into your world by like keeping them one step away from you, if that makes sense. So like I'd be interested to have a conversation with a Scientologist and just be like, hey, you don't agree with SA, right? And of course they don't. So,
No.
okay, if you found out that SA was being covered up inside your church as it, you know, you saw it happen with the Catholic Church, with the Mormons, it's what if you happen to be, you know, that what if question, I feel like could be pretty powerful. But you have to have an engaged conversation. Like,
you do.
Yeah, they have to be able to.
You can't tell them. You have to lead them and let them do it on their own. Like, did you ever hear about, or have you ever heard anything like this? And isn't it strange that anytime there's, you know, some unfortunate interaction between two people that doesn't seem consensual, you know, you have to really water it down. Isn't it weird that usually the woman gets in ethics handlings? Because I've always found that. I've always seen that. I've always heard that.
Well, I'd be curious, just like, do you think it's an appropriate response for someone who's SA'd to have to go and get sec checked? Do you think like that's like, cool. Well, just in case you ever want to go online, you can find probably right now 100 people that happened to.
Yeah.
Because as soon as if they find out that you've been SA'd at any point in time, you immediately go into sec checks from there too.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of obviously major cognitive dissonance, but the question always is will anybody have that conversation? And you guys know I've been trying to debate or like get a Scientologist, or I want to have hard conversations with people. I really do. And like Scientologists, they're not talking.
Right. And you know what the thing is, you don't even need to know what happens now. You just plant the seeds and you let them see if they want to harvest it or not. And that's the thing, like people don't want to have a hard conversation because it's uncomfortable. But do you want to live uncomfortably for your whole life and not realize that you're not really living up to your potential or to whatever you could be doing, versus having, you know, a hard conversation here or there and then having different perspective? I don't know. I'm very much a blunt and tell it like it is person, like with my close friends, my family, which was, you know, didn't make me people's favorites. But I was never the favorite. I'm the only girl in the family and I'm the meanest one. I'm the meanest.
I think it would be great if you could talk to Catherine Bell. Like if you could have, because she's educated.
Yeah.
If you could have an educated conversation with her, it doesn't even have to be about, you know, anything else, like just having a standard conversation.
Yeah.
Like eventually they're going to have to respond.
Yeah.
And they can't respond with Tom Cruise every single time because let's be real, his tooth's not even and it messes everybody up.
Yeah. Well, and even Scientologists know that the kids, like who, you know, your childhood, for example, Liz, they know that people who were in the Sea Org as young children, it was not okay because they stopped doing that. It was so bad that there are no more kids allowed in the Sea Org. So obviously that was a handling for something. So I think even with that, it's just like, well, where's the ethics conditions? Where's the apology? Where's the amends? Are they not applying their own like formula to them?
Their own formula. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah. I think some of those things are pretty easy hypocrisies to point out that even if I can just get one through, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know what, if you just get them enough to look, and they can do it on their own, they can just look, you know, they can go sneak away to the public library. That's what my mom did. She wouldn't do it in her house because she was too scared that they would.
You got a phone. It's high tech. It's not flipping.
Yeah, but she was scared they were going to track her.
It's an out point if you cannot Google your own religion. If you cannot openly research your own religion on the internet, that's a huge out point. And that's a Scientology term. I'm sure everybody here maybe you know everybody else. It's like a problem. It's like something wrong. And you would in Scientology, if you are doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to find that out point and you're going to find out why. You're going to find out what's wrong, what the real situation is, like with no bias, with just hardcore intention. Where's that?
Yeah.
I still remember there was a report we were supposed to do where we had to say write something nice about LRH in school.
That's cringy.
And I remember it was one of those things where it's like it felt like we were doing a book report. Like we had to find out what year he was born, what year this happened, what year this. And I remember all of us going to our parents who were in the Sea Org and just asking questions. And now that I'm out, I'm looking at those similar questions. Like, you didn't do shit. Like y'all made it up. Y'all lied.
Yeah.
They bought his lie. He's a con man. They just bought it.
Look it up.
Sadly.
Look up your founder. Like holy rusted metal Batman.
Yeah.
Right.
You just handed the keys over to Lucifer and said, Jesus, don't take the wheel.
I almost think that saying that's kind of a disservice to Lucifer.
To Lucifer.
I do.
Don't diss my boy like that,
I don't want to
diss. That was a good TV show. Dude. Dang it. He solved murders in Los Angeles.
I got out of being like people, the Scientologists come to your house all the time trying to get you to do this and, go on course and then sign up, like the ones that kind of come to your actual door.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I used to get caught opening the door thinking it was like a friend of mine or something. And they would always, and I was a real wild child. Okay. So I'd be like, I'm not interested in your bullshit. And they'd be like, and I'd be like, that's my parents' stuff. I hate it. It's stupid. And I'd just close the door. And so I'd have to have a different thing every time. And so one time, they kept coming back. Like it was a really good, this person was like really peppy. And I was like, I worship Satan. Sorry. Bye. And they just didn't have a comeback. And I was like, yeah, see, Satan's my homie. Sorry, dude. L. Ron Hubbard can fuck off. And
too many houses for that.
I'm sure they were like, this one's is fucking degraded.
We don't
leave her off.
Yeah. The one time the chaplain and the ethics officer came to my house because I was off lines and I was starting to cause a little trouble. Thank goodness they happened to arrive right when I was about to leave. So I was fully makeup, hair, they could have caught me looking real bad because, whatever. I'm a total slob at home. Okay, I said it. And my house was clean. And they came into the entry area and I was just like, what are you guys doing here? Like, well, we just really want to check in with you and talk with you. And I straight up was like, I don't ever want you coming to my house again. I was nice to them, but at the end of it, I was just like, are we good? And then I was like, yeah, don't ever come to my house again. You can call me. Don't ever come here.
Did they just walk into your house without knocking? They just walked in?
No, they knocked, but they didn't. I didn't know it was that they were going to be there. So I opened the door and my instinct is to be polite.
They're sneaky.
And and I'm like, hi, how are you? And I know them both. I was on staff for a while with them. And then I got off staff and then so they were like, Liz, what's going on with you? What's up? And I'm just like, what the F are you guys doing here? They're like, we came to check on you. I think they thought they were going to catch me in some honestly, if they'd been there the night before, I would have opened my door and it would have been Scooby-Doo van and there'd be 40 people in my house, So that's why I'm saying when they came when they did was perfect.
It was good.
But yeah, I just don't ever come here.
Please don't.
Why are you here?
Please
I've never had any.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah.
That was always weird. And they're very they come a lot. The persistent, yeah. And my bathroom was downstairs and I had a window in the bathroom. And so I had it open because it would get hot and I was in there showering and someone popped their head in there. And I remember I hit it and I was like, what the fuck? And it was a lady and she thought it was hilarious. And she still came to go talk to her parents. I'm like, you better not have your weird ass friends coming over here like that. And it was and I'm like, what are they doing? That's so imagine. And I was like, I'm like, ew.
No, please don't make a peek into my. Yeah. You know what? If Scientology, if you want to come, I will hand you a beer. You probably had a really long walk. We'll watch a TV show. Leah Remini, you want to watch it? It's pretty good. It's on Hulu. We can Hulu and chill.
I feel like if you just say that word, they'd be like, Leah Remini. Oh my God, so suppressive. Oh, they just get really bent out of shape. There's a few names that I feel like not everybody, but most people kind of know. And they're like,
I'm okay with nobody knowing my name except my dad, but.
No, I know, but there's it's funny because if you said that, people would be like, oh,
it's
so
Xenu, cult, the word cult, and now Leah Remini for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And pretty soon will be Aaron Smith-Levin.
I think it is
sure.
already because
Probably.
I've been sent his hate website. That was like 2 years ago. So
Okay.
Funny.
yeah.
All right, ladies. I have to actually get off the phone. We're not on the phone on my live. Because I have to go do a couple of family things. But keep talking, and I'll tune in afterward as as I can. Bye, everybody. Thank you for having me, and we'll talk more because we will be in LA.
We'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so glad we got to have Liz on with us. So fun.
Right?
We've been trying to get all of us on, and it's been hard because 3 are on the same time zone. I'm on a different time zone, but we're all working and momming and all that. So it's been hard.
Yes. Hold on. Doctor, what happens in the basement of CC? Well, there's a lot of things that happen in the basement. Number one, that's also where chow area is. You go a little further down, there's the ethics area. And, I spend a lot of my time in the ethics area and very little time in the chow area.
She was always an ethics guy.
Yeah. I'm telling you now, I really want my goldenrod. I really want it.
I feel like you've earned it at this point. You've really put in the work.
Give it to me, darn it.
You put in the work. You really have. You put in the work.
It's like I don't need the t-shirt. I don't need the trip to the Bahamas. Just give me my goldenrod. I think
you've earned it. You did
for every scar that's on my body. I earned that.
Yep, you did it. You definitely did.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry.
Let me get out of the star area.
I'm laughing at Carrie's comment. I'm sorry. I was truly trying to.
What'd Carrie say?
What she keeps at the house in the front door for religious people. I'm not going to say it. You can look.
I'm trying to think of what's at the front door.
It's right there on the screen.
Is there really one by the front door?
Not anymore, but there used to be.
Oh, okay. I used to have one, not to be gross, everybody, I'm really sorry, but used to have like a giant one, like a double-headed, and it was giant. And it was not humanly possible to be anywhere effective, but it made a great conversation piece when you had friends over if you just had it sitting on the dining room table.
That's a lot of meat.
Right? But I would just throw it out on the coffee table, like, here you go, and like stick it places. It makes for the weirdest conversations, but you can't be uncomfortable when you're having a funny moment. It's hard to be uncomfortable when you are having a funny moment. I'm just saying.
Just turn it on when they would start talking about their religious stuff. I would turn it on and be like, so this is
talking to the microphone.
I know she needs to talk into the microphone.
And just put it on
all the time.
So wait, are you going to bring one to LA? Because that would just like a little sword in case everybody gets too close. Like
no. Let's hit this comment real quick before I turn even more red. Wow, Grammy Boo Boo. I would like to see more ladies of SPTV do lives together. Us too. All right. Every time we start talking about dildos, Alicia turns into a giggle puddle.
It's true. This is exactly what's going to happen in LA. Like, I feel like we're not going to sleep at all on Friday night because I feel like me and Carrie are going to get into some shenanigans.
Yeah.
I'm
probably going to get to a point where I'm going to be like, look,
I'm tired.
We've been protesting, guys. I'm old.
My bones is old and tired.
My feet hurt, and I want to go to bed.
You're gonna hear me. You're going to be like, okay, of course we'll keep it on. And then you're gonna hear me and Carrie in the next room laughing, and then we're gonna come harass her. I'm sorry.
We're gonna come ready, jumping on the bed. Hey, babe, here's something funny.
Wake up.
No, because she knows that if I get grouchy, like if I get tired, I get super grouchy.
Yep.
But it's only 2 days. We might push it.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm apologizing in advance. I just feel like
so whoops. I guess Aaron has some fantastic news. And it is going on in his live right this second.
We should hop off then, huh?
We should, so that he can announce his news and I can have like my conversation with you.
Yes.
Because as far as I can tell, Danny was attacked in
person.
Yeah. So Aaron is explaining what's going on. I'm gonna head on out.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be seeing each other, me and Liz, in very soon, just a few days. And Carrie.
I know.
Carrie, we're going to be in a lot of
from
trouble.
Liz's chat. Thank you all for being here. Please head on over to Aaron, show him some love. Don't forget to smash the like if you are not subscribed to the amazing Alicia or the Liz Gail. Thank you so very much. And I
thanks
know,
to our mods.
Thank you. Appreciate it.